So I wanted to have a brief discussion on kata and its purpose. Now, there are different reasons that people practice kata. And I think it was YouTube channel Sensei Seth. He articulated pretty well the different purposes that people practice kata. And I'm going to differ with him on some stuff. I'm not really drawing on or commenting on or replying to anything he said. But he articulates a different reason, so I don't want to get into that because he covered that. Go look that up. But the purpose that I practice kata is a particular one. And it is to become, and it is tied to the reason I practice martial arts. The reason I practice kata is to become efficient and competent at defending myself. I believe it was Gichin Funakoshi, it might have been someone else, who said that karate was kata. If you do martial arts to defend yourself, but you do kata for another reason, then there's a disconnect. If your martial art is at its core kata. If your martial art is at its core not kata, and you do your kata for enjoyment or whatever reason, okay, that's fine. But if you're going to believe that quote, then let's deal with kata in those terms. And if we're going to deal with kata in those terms, let's look at the way that we practice kata in terms of what we want to get out of it, or rather what our purpose in training is. So if our purpose in training is to be an efficient self-defender, then we must tailor our kata practice to meet that goal and to reach that end. If we tailor our kata practice around any other goal, then we're missing our main goal. And if we tailor kata practice haphazardly, not knowing why we do what we do, whatever it is that we do in our kata practice, then that's another thing that we're missing. So how does my purpose in training kata shape my practice thereof? And I would say that my purpose in training kata being becoming a good self-defender, becoming an efficient and competent self-defender. Therefore, my practice of kata has become slower. It has become more methodical. I used to do kata in a very fast, dynamic, powerful looking way. And I'll still ratchet it up every once in a while, just because it feels good, because I like the feel of going at a higher intensity. But when I am training myself, when I am teaching myself to move, there is an old adage that says slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I train slowly so that I can become proficient when I have to go quickly. I believe it was John Lovell of Warrior Poet Society that made a big point of when he does his dry fire and his drawing practice with his handgun that he starts off slow. And he'll go fast by the end of it, but he starts off slow because slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Another thing my instructor always says is train fast, learn slow, train slow, learn fast. And this was echoed in a YouTube video I recently watched from Target Focus Training, I believe was the system or the curriculum that was. I don't remember the YouTube channel's name, but if you look up Target Focus Training, you'll find it. It's one of his recent videos. He was talking about how to train, and he emphasized slow, methodical training, and he articulated it perfectly. His name was Tim something. Larkin? No, that's probably wrong. He articulated it like this, and I've heard my instructor articulate it similarly. We are myelinating neural pathways when we train. If we go fast, our body only knows start and finish. It doesn't know all the motions in between. If we want to train for combat efficiency, we go slowly and methodically, and every part of every movement is trained. If we do it that way, our brain will learn every single part of the movement. This is not how we do kata for demonstration. This is not how we do kata for demos at the mall to get kids excited and interested. This is how we train kata to train ourselves to become better self-defenders. Because the science behind it points to the fact that slow and methodical, boring training is the most beneficial to actually learning the skill. And I would add that this allows for moments of correcting yourself throughout, so that when I practice my kata, I will be correcting myself as I go. I write, and I'll do this as I write. Some people, including myself sometimes, when they write, or when I write, we'll just go in a breakneck speed, like boom, article done. And the inclination of myself will be, okay, post that article. And maybe you guys were with me before the blog got banned on Facebook. And anyway, and you'll remember reading articles that may or may not have good points obscured by typos. Okay, that's what we do when we rush through a kata. There are all sorts of typos in our kata, and we rush to print with all those typos, and it's just a bummer for our actual training. But if we can do this two ways. We can correct it as we go along, or we can correct it afterwards. Well, the problem is the metaphor breaks down here, because you can create we can fix a paper or an essay or an article after it's written. Well, once we've done the training once, we've already taught our brain that one time. So even if we correct it after the fact, we've already taught ourselves a mistake. So we have to do it twice as much to unteach ourselves the mistake and reteach ourselves the correct way to do it. So it just comes down to train slow and methodically to get very, very good at what you do. I was teaching a seminar. I had a curriculum I wanted to work out. I had some friends that were open to me teaching their class, so I came and I taught a seminar. And one of the gentlemen there training said that I had very good hand speed, and he might have been being nice. He might have but he said I had very good hand speed, and he had been doing martial arts for many years longer than I had. And we were doing a drills together, and like you've probably been training with a martial arts before, where you ratchet it up, and suddenly it becomes you're not doing the drill anymore. You're just going at it, right? So we were doing a drill that's very close range. It was like a sticking drill or something, and we would devolve into just trying to tap each other or tag each other or whatever. And he commented afterwards that I had very good hand speed. Well, the thing about that is, I do my kata very slowly. I do most of my training very slowly. But the result of that is that when it becomes a drill with another person and that drill escalates, or maybe it becomes I'm being attacked, my hands know what to do. I don't have to think about what my hands are doing. They just do it. And they do it well. They don't do it, in some of my videos you'll see me do this like slap thing, because I'm just going so fast that it breaks down. Yeah, that happens too. But my hands know where to go. Okay? And when the intensity ratchets it up, my hands know where to go on their own because I train slowly. Had I trained fast and all these typos slipped into my training, then those typos might have been what comes out when things get real or things get fast. And suddenly I'm trying to defend myself, or I'm doing a high-intensity drill or a high-intensity sparring session, and my hands don't know where to go anymore, because sometimes they go here, well sometimes they go here, sometimes it's here, sometimes I'm lazy, it's like this. Well, they don't know where to go anymore because I'm going too fast when I train. So my encouragement to other martial artists that do kata to become efficient self-defenders is train slowly. It'll make you better quickly. Well, God bless and good luck on your training. Y'all take care.